This has been take 4 of recording this shit. It's tough. But either way, before I jump into the video, I just want to talk about what the channel is going to be about, what this channel is, and what's going to happen moving forward. So, this used to be the gaming channel. Oh my god. This used to be the gaming channel that I made shitty Smite videos, VR videos, and shit like that. But now, moving forward, I appreciate and like watching anime more and talking about it. So that's what I turned it into. And it would be weird if I uploaded a random video of random anime without introducing anything on a blank channel. So this is why I'm doing this right now. Also, it is a random anime, but it came out last season, which is, I don't know, out of pace. I should be talking about something that came out this season or is coming out next season, you know, or like something that would get traction. But I'm waiting for the 6-week split, which is probably in a week or so. For the 6-week split, I'm going to review or talk about if all of them are worth your time or if none of them are worth your time. And I'm also going to personally tell you which animes I'm dropping and which animes I'm continuing to watch. For reviews, I'm only going to review the ones that I really like, and for ones that I just watch because I have to, I'll stop or I'll finish it, talk about it, and not really make a video for it because I'm not making a video for every single anime coming out. But anyways, we'll just get into the video. Before that, if you're one of my friends, I appreciate it. If you were from the gaming channel and didn't know me and sticked around, I appreciate it. And if you're new, just clicking this video because you like the anime, I appreciate you too. But either way, I hope y'all like the video. So today we're going to be talking about the Genius Prince's Guide of Raising a Nation Out of Debt. That's a long ass name. I'm never saying that shit again. So let's talk about the characters. So we'll start with the protagonist, Prince Wayne. Pretty cool looking dude. Best character in the anime, in my opinion, is the secondary character, Niname or Niname. I like the white hair, you know, pretty cool design. We also have another childhood friend from the academy, Lo and Mina. Zeno, girl serving under the king, pretty important character. Falania, Wayne's little sister. Wayne, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll say Wayne for Weez. And the goat, Haggle. Now that we know some of the characters, we'll go into what I think is very important when you're looking for an anime, and that's the opening, the ending, and OST in general. First of all, the animations are mid. Nothing special. It meets the standard for a seasonal anime, to be honest. The character designs are actually kind of cool. I personally like their design. It feels like I haven't seen their design in like 50 other animes in the past 10 years. First of all, the opening is shit, bro. Like, for real. The fuck were you thinking when they were literally cutting out frames from the show, adding a mid song over it? It looks so bad, had no choreography. The ED is just as bad. It's like, I think it's just like a little green cover with little frames in the top corner. Like, it's just so bad. The song's a little bit better, but so fucking bad. Alright, let's finally talk about the show. This will be mainly spoiler free because I want to give you enough info for you to decide if you want to experience the show for yourself. It's not going to be a complete review. I don't want my opinion for the entire show to take over whether you watch it or not. So it was a pretty good seasonal anime, to be honest. From the start, I'll give you a number just so you can wrap around the details that I'm going after. I rated a 7, and if I ever rewatch it in the future, I can only see it fall down in a 6.5. Rewatchability is important to me because I feel like a show should be praised if you can go back and watch it and enjoy it the same or even better as before. So this show, personally, I feel like it wasn't one of those. And I know, although I do enjoy the chemistry between the cast, and especially Wayne's and Niname's bond, it's not enough for me to actually rewatch it due to it slowly not being as enjoyable as it was on the first watch. Before I go on talking about it, I'll give a quick 15-second gist of the story. So the MC, Wayne, aka Wheezy, is a prince whose late father passes away. So now you know the kingdom is entrusted to him. Sadly, his kingdom is shit. They're broke, they live in the northern mountains, so you know, cultivation's pretty ass. The MC knows this, and right away he just wants to sell it. He doesn't want to do any of this shit. He's like, fuck this. Don't get the wrong idea though. He actually cares about solving the issues his kingdom has. But because this is a comedy, we see constant jokes of him bashing his own kingdom and stating he's gonna sell it throughout the show. Because at the end of the day, he's just doing a job that was forced onto him, and he knows that. Niname, his assistant or partner, the second main character's story, in my opinion, carrying the show. She's adorable, she's serious, and their relationship is adorable, or bond rather. So our couple, we mainly see them travel. We mainly see them participate in scenarios like invading the kingdom, or other kingdoms I mean, financial issues, dealing with assassination attempts. Wayne's being big brain most of the time, ganking shit, and trying to do what the title says, you know, raise the country out of debt. So after a quick gist, let's talk about my opinion of the show. Finally, like I said, I'm not gonna spoil everything. First of all, this is not a complete show. I know what you're thinking. Of course, dumbass, I know it's not. Look. Some shows at the end on a good note. They end on a note that seems complete for an anime. And I know. Wait. I know. Most animes aim to just be advertisements for a bigger story, like light novels, mangas, or other visual novels. But after I finished this, I didn't feel like the satisfaction I did with finishing other animes like Army Girl Machiavellism or Problem Children Come From Another World. The show does not have a fully complete feeling of, wow man, that show was kind of pog for me personally. Remember, I'm not shitting on it. I actually rated a 7 out of 10 on how enjoyable it was. Wayne is an enjoyable protagonist to follow. He's not a pussy like most modern animes like to have nowadays, and what all y'all like sucking off for some reason. It's not annoying, and he doesn't overreact. Some people would say, oh wow, he's bland. I don't believe he feels his age. You know, shit like that. But to be honest, that's an aspect I like about him. He feels like he's 16 when you see him. And when he shifts his, his little mask of, okay, I'm not with my friends anymore, I want to be a king, he feels as if he's 16. It doesn't feel unrealistic to where it's like a 16-year-old, oh, and out of nowhere he acts like a 43-year-old king. It really does feel like he's just shifting gears, and it's just a genius 16-year-old. These ideas are out of this world, like a 16-year-old who's a fucking prodigy would think of. It's not that bad, man. But also keep in mind, I'm not like those losers on anime reviews that complain, oh, this MC's too smart, too cool, has too many maidens, unrealistic, non-believable character. Like, what the fuck? You're even more unrealistic by having no drip, no females, no ambition, you ugly, oh yeah, and you lame. But yeah, if you're like me and don't mind a protagonist that is made to be almost perfect and to be a Chad, I think you'll like him as much as I do. Another important aspect to think about is story doesn't have filler. I would say it bounces on important arcs and takes like no breaks. For me personally, I feel like the anime does not benefit from this. Only shows like suspense, depressing shows, or shows that literally need to just be in a diagonal way up to its climax forever really benefit off of this. But since this is classified as a comedy fantasy, I feel like there should be breaks in between every 3 episodes at least, like 1 episode of a beach scene, no matter how cliche that sounds like, or anything similar to that. It helps reduce and fix the pacing of the show. The show's pacing just feels like it's constantly going up. That's a real weakness in my opinion about it. I will give the show props though on the childhood friend arc, mini arc. Lowell Mina is it's a really cool character. The way you see him interact with her and you get a little bit of background about why they act the way they are, it's just a really good arc. I feel like if it had 1 more or 2 more arcs kind of like that, just pausing the story and going back, or pausing the story and enjoying the moment, it would have been a little bit more enjoyable. So now I'm gonna do something I don't see a lot of people do, and that's put other people's reviews and talk about what they're saying to y'all, like give my opinion on their review and see how accurate it is, or maybe it'll make me add something I missed out. I feel like this is pretty cool, so this video won't just be completely me forcing my opinion down your throat. So this was from Robert788. Tensai Oji no Akaji Koka Sasai Jutsu or Jute. This is essentially a different version of how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Perhaps this is just going to be a new phase of shows that we see, just like how many isekai exist too. I can see that's the comparison I wanted to make of how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. They're really similar, but the other one was an isekai and this one is not an isekai. Also, I feel like the other one is more harem focused and more, it just feels more fan servicey. This one is not serious, but it focuses on the characters more. It's not, like I said, it doesn't like revolve around love. So I could see it's basically the plot is the same. I agree. Story is fine and does a nice job with this flow and keeps on track for the most part. With the aims and expectations of the show, it does get a bit confusing at times with how quickly it tries to progress. I would disagree with that. I agree that it does try to pace very quickly, but the show does do a good job at explaining most of the things. Nothing in the show is a complicated topic. Yes, it is a political anime, but we're not creating gravity. We're not doing anything special. We're not going into space. Everything's pretty simplified, like how it should be. No one's trying to be a political campaign manager. We're just watching an anime show. The art is the biggest issue. 1 minute it is fantastically average, and suddenly it nosedives through the floor. Battles especially feel like the cutscenes from the 1990s you get on a handheld device game. So yeah, animations do feel kind of shitty. Like I said, the opening was actual dog. It's literally just frames being cut out, nothing animated, especially for the opening. But I wouldn't say they're that bad. Like, there are some shows that I've had, wow, like shit ass anime scenes or cutscenes or animations rather. Like, there was one that had a fucking mouth not even on the fucking character, bruh. This one is like, it's just adequate. The animation style is adequate. That's it. Sounds are mid, just passable for a seasonal show. Battles are dull. I could agree with that. It's not that bad, but I could agree with that. Voices are fine. Yep, pretty good voice actors are all around. OSC is okay. OSC is not okay. It's actual dog. It's dookie. It's fucking shit. Character developed well throughout the story. It perhaps introduces too many characters since arcs feel skipped or incomplete at many stages. I feel like the dynamic of almost having a harem but not having it one and all in its own way. Pretty vanilla, which is nice to see for a change. Like I said, it does almost feel like a dynamic of having a harem. I can agree with that, but it might be stretching it a bit. We really don't see anyone like him other than one person admits it for sure. You know, he's just a charismatic guy and he's doing what he has to do. And too many characters. I feel like the characters that are talked about and have their mini arcs feel pretty developed. I don't think they're dull, or I don't think they feel incomplete. It's just feels complete for what it is. A seasonal anime. Give it a 5. Said does what it wants well and sucks at everything else. I wouldn't say it's average because there aren't too many shows like this out in the market, you know? It does do what it wants well and it excels at it. I just feel like because it's a comedy, to give it more lenience, you know? But for the most part, it's not a bad review. Alright, this guy decided to write a whole fucking essay on this one. Oh my god. Canlin09. He rated it an 8. Tensai OG is way better rhetoric. It's a way better rhetoric than the realist hero. There, I've said it. I can agree with that. Like I said, realist hero felt more like a harem. Honestly, I don't think that there was another work that could better refine the realist side of things. And when Tensai OG by novelist Toru Tobu dropped this season, I'm more than elated to say that more than realist hero finally having a legit competitor. The letter was a lot more heartful and soulful that can we rather engage. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna just speed read this and summarize it for y'all and tell y'all if I agree with it or not. If y'all want to read it, y'all just pause the video, read this entire shit. But I'm gonna fast forward most of this shit. After speed reading this, I realized this dude is just summarizing the plot of the story. Only the bottom part is the review, so I'll just read the bottom part. When it all comes down to it, I have to say he enjoyed it. But here's the differences. Realist hero spends a lot of time on, for instance, fan service in disguise. I agree. The narrative and okay, that's a pretty good point. In both shows, the MC instantly gets appointed to their leader nations. Realist hero events happens randomly and clogs the narration trying to justify it, where Tensai OG makes it easy to accept and move on. Very true. It was just pretty simple. It's just, he's the king, okay, continue. Not the king, but you know, he's the prince taking over. Realist hero stresses on minor, at times tedious details of governance, where Tensai OC almost exclusively focuses on the grand scheme of things. And I agree. Like I said, the show was bouncing through main point, which is, I wouldn't say in my opinion a strength, but rather a weakness. It needs some time to like lower the hype down. You can't just be putting out constant bangers and think of everything to be a grand banger, you know? God, I appreciate smart reviews so much better than long ass reviews. So here we have Fairly Moot. Seen it recently as well. Overall rating 10. Politics. I sure do love politics. However, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom lean over toward philosophy and fantasy more than actual politics. That would grip you harder than the funny owl in that one isolated corner in Deep Woken, and his second season that had continued spat in my face some harem romance that I frankly did not care about. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about for this, but he likes politics. And I agree, it is more philosophy and fantasy than actual politics, which is what these type of anime should be. I'm not trying to fucking be a big brain politician by watching animated little monitos talk to each other. Unlike Realist Hero, the Genius Prince's guide to utilizing clairvoyance and foresight to beat up everyone else but still having the luck of your mother's maintenance maintains a reasonable degree of political intrigue alongside a drama better executed than Your Family After Your Father Defected to South Korea, and as well as comedy that slaps a bit better than Will Smith. Yeah, this guy's kind of weird, champ. I'm not gonna lie. The comedy isn't that funny. I didn't really laugh or giggle. I'm be honest. I straight faced throughout this entire anime with just smiles on Wayne's and Anime's relationship. That's it. The intertwining of religion and culture, social, economic differences, and racism with a little bit too much of rolling on Nat 100 D20. This guy is kind of weird, bro. But yeah, they do that. We do get some religion and some culture and economic differences with some racism in it. Overall, Genius Prince is best catered for most of those interested in drama, comedy, and medieval politics. However, despite being a genius, the prince cannot obtain the money due to the curse of the story being alright and entertaining so far, and the light novel has yet to reach volume 69, so the prince is unfortunately still poor. Realist Hero is best served fresh for shonen harem enjoyers with most likely no interest in philosophy or politics, and rather play anime fighting simulators than Rogue Lineage 2. Anyhow, the only thing I'm not rating a 10 sound opening is not memorable, subjective. King Soldiers, the chat, and unlike Wayne, he ain't made a list. I don't even know if this was a review. Dude, I just wanted to pick 3 decent reviews, okay? If they're shit, you can't blame me. I'm not going through every single review. It is as accurate as they're getting. 3 random. Well, yeah, I mean, like he said, it is mainly philosophy. I do agree. I love harems, but this show doesn't give me the same feeling I do when I watch a harem. It's just an enjoyable show. Overall, I feel like the show is carried by 2 things: the satisfaction of seeing him outplay and outthink everyone in the show by miles, and the relationship he has with Anime. It is just your typical show, like for real. They are really cute together, and the overprotectiveness that they have, dude, it just hard carries the show. That shit made me smile almost every single time, and it sucks like we don't see romance flourish or anything, mainly just the class system. But you don't have to worry if you're worried about that, because our prince really doesn't care about that shit, and he states that Anime is his heart, because he can't say he loves her, but he says that she's his heart, and if anything hurts his heart, man, they're gonna die right away, bro. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, he's low-key kind of OP. He's not like a pussy, like he knows how to run the kingdom, but he can't fight. He's kind of OD. Alright, so it's time to wrap it up. Whether you want to see it, a simple story of a teenage prince outsmart everyone, or just enjoy the show for a fantasy adventure it appeals to, I would say give it 2 episodes. First 2 episodes really do give you a sizable bite of how the story progresses and the vibe the show gives. So tell me what you think about it, and if you decide to finish it. Come back here and let's talk about it, but you already know. Either way, I'll hit you up tomorrow.